If your Apple Watch is only reminding you to stand up and the only other thing you're paying attention to is closing your rings, you are missing out on the good stuff. Today I'm going to show you how I use two of the very best apps you can, Athlytic and WorkOutDoors, to help me stay on top of my health and fitness and to train smarter with less faff. If you're new to exercise, don't worry, this is all beginner friendly stuff. And if you're a regular exercisist, again, I've got you covered. There will be some pointers in here that will absolutely apply to you as well. And by the end of this, you will know how I decide how hard to train each day, the exact workout screen I use on my watch, the Apple Watch Ultra 3, the few metrics that you absolutely should be paying attention to and the ones that you probably don't need to worry about, and also how this fits into a simple, easy to follow weekly routine. Following on from that, you can now grab my 4-step fitness blueprint. I've put an ebook together. It will run you through the 4 foundational steps that we should be trying to be consistent with effort every single day. This is what I do. Pick that up, the link is down below in the description. Now, do something for me. If you find this video useful, press that thumbs up button, share it with someone who you think might also benefit from this, because doing so will help tell YouTube to put us in front of other people who could absolutely do with a little bit of help trying to be fitter and healthier. All right, let's go into some good stuff. Okay then, so I am using my Apple Watch Ultra 3, but this will work on the other versions of the Apple Watch. The only thing I'd suggest is you just double check that your version works with these two apps. I'm pretty sure most do. Some of the things I'm going to talk about are specific to this watch, like using the action button, but we can get around that with other versions as well. Okay, so Athlytic, the first app we're going to be talking about. This will turn the Apple Health data, HRV, resting heart rate, and your sleep information. This will turn it into a recovery score and also give you a target exertion zone. Don't worry, I'm going to explain these in a minute. The second app we're looking at is called WorkOutDoors. I love this app. This is my go-to workout tracking app for clean, highly customizable workout screens. Think interval sessions, smart workout alerts, that kind of stuff. It does also have a really good map tracking and waypoint designing setup to it. That's not something I've explored in too much detail because I don't tend to do too much of that. But if you're into your hiking and all that kind of stuff, again, the WorkOutDoors will absolutely have you covered for this. For me, I tend to focus more on just your general training in the gym, outside the gym, walking, running, cycling, that kind of stuff. So that maps information, doesn't fit into my normal day-to-day, but down the road, perhaps it could do. Now don't forget that fitness blueprint is still waiting for you in the description below. Click the link, open up that window, then come back to this. It's going to give you some superb, helpful information. Here's the basics that I follow, and these steps are in that blueprint. We've got, first of all, we want to move daily, be as active as possible, as often as possible, all of which we can track and monitor and see progress through our watch. The second thing is we want to get in some strength training, some form of resistance training work in our normal week. If you're new to it, maybe 2 to 3 sessions a week. For someone who's a bit more experienced, potentially 3, 4, maybe even 5 sessions per week. Again, we track that through the watch. We can see progress and how we're getting on. Then we've got your traditional cardio style of things. If you're new, just ease into it gently, lower heart rate, slow, steady stuff. And if you're a bit more experienced, then we go for the bit more intense durational work, that kind of thing. And then of course we've got the all important, this is where the magic happens. And again, we can track it using our watch to monitor progress and see how we're doing. We've got sleep, rest, recovery, and also what our current stress levels are like. If we don't nail those things, we're going to be missing a really big part of the picture. But the beauty is our watch and these two apps that we've got, Athlytic and WorkOutDoors, they will help us move that needle in the right direction. Okay then, so Athlytic, this app is ace, and we can look at this app along the lines of the how hard to train today check-in app. So what's it going to give us? Well, when we fire up that screen, so that's going to give us a recovery score in a percentage. So basically, how ready are we to train? An exertion load, which is your daily training load. And it's also going to give us a target exertion. So a personalized range for you on that specific day for you to aim for, which is an ace tool to have, because a lot of people I talk to, they'll say to me, well, Tim, am I working hard enough or am I working too hard? Well, this is going to give us some numbers to work towards, which is ace. So if you haven't done so already, first of all, you're going to need to download this app to your phone. Now, this is a paid for app and I am not affiliated with them in any way. I legit use this one myself. I've paid for it myself. It's a fairly reasonable price. I'll put that up on the screen for you now, and I think that gives you the full year. So download it, try it, and if you like it, get into it. There are some other ones out there that you can pick and choose from, but it does become a bit of a minefield. So download it, install it to your phone, then allow the health permissions. I just simply tell it to allow all of them, so we just turn that on. This will give us access to your heart rate, your HRV, heart rate variability, our sleep tracking, resting heart rate, and also the workout information that this app needs. Important stuff. Next thing to do is make sure that you wear your watch overnight so that we track that overnight rest and recovery information, because without that we're not going to be getting accurate details that we want to take advantage of. Another little tip for you though is keep the recovery settings at default to start with. You can adjust those later on down the road, but I just leave them to default. I'm going to give you a very quick 10-second check daily routine that you can run through when you've got this thing fired up. Basically, if you fire it up and it says you've got a high recovery score, so you're 70 to 100%, for example, then go for a heavy strength day or some form of interval training, maybe combining the two if you're a little bit more experienced. And that target exertion zone, aim for the top end of it, because you're well recovered, you should be able to handle it no problem. The next one we want to look at, if we're medium recovered, so somewhere between 40 and 70%, for example, let's think steady state, long duration cardio, maybe top end of zone 2, moving into zone 3, or if you're comfortable, then hanging in that zone 3 for a period of time. Still doing some strength work, but we're not pushing those loads too much, so think lighter weight, higher volume potentially, a little bit longer rest in between sets. And that exertion range, aim for the middle of it would be my tip for that one. Okay, last but not least, we've got the low recovery score. So 40% or below. Pay attention to this, because even if you feel fairly good, your body's sending out signals that you might not have learned how to read. So this is again another good reason why we use these apps to help us with this sort of stuff. So if we're 40% or lower, then just take an active recovery day, a long walk, a light jog or bike ride, or play a game of paddle or pickleball or something like that. Just and keep things towards the lower end of your target exertion zone and focus on good recovery, maybe some mobility work or something like that. If we're fairly new to this sort of training though, working in different heart rate zones or figuring out what they are, the watch will tell you you can set that up so that you can see it at the glance of your wrist, which is great. However, a really good way I like to think of this is zone 2 is a really good place to train. And it's a really good place to start off with as well. But if you're new to it, how do you know you're there? Well, let me give you an example. If you and I were working out next to each other right now, let's say we've gone for a run. We're running next to each other. We would be able to have this conversation in full sentences. We still know we're working. We can still feel a slight elevated heart rate, slightly elevated breathing rate, but we're able to hold a conversation using full sentences. If you can do that, you're there or thereabouts in zone 2, and I wouldn't get bogged down in too much more detail than that. So if that helps you out with some zone training and whereabouts zone 2 is, press that like button, much appreciated. Okay then, app number 2, WorkOutDoors. I love this app. It is ace. It's so customizable. All of the workouts you can properly tailor it to exactly how you want. However, if you're just starting out, it's set up, ready to go. You don't need to worry about too much detail. I want to see clear numbers that I can actually use in the moment, and I want it to be on my wrist with full control and not have to fiddle about swiping and scrolling and all that kind of stuff. WorkOutDoors lets me do this. I can build simple, readable data screens without any clutter. I can set audio and or haptic alerts, think pacing or heart rate zones and cadence or laps, that kind of stuff. I can run structured intervals from that watch. Interval training is a big part of what I do, and the more experienced you get and the further into your training journey you get, then intervals will absolutely play a part in that as well. And also, because I'm running the Ultra 3, or if you're running the Ultra 3 or 2 or 1, you can obviously have that action button. You're able to start and stop workouts literally at the press of that button, which is ace. Now again, with this app, if you haven't done so already, you're going to need to find it in the App Store and download it to your watch to get yourself going. And again, I'm not affiliated with these people. I have paid for this one out of my own money and I use it all of the time. However, with this one, it's not subscription based, unless it hasn't changed since I last checked. It's a one-time purchase and then it's yours for life, which is mega. I love that model of it. So to the developers, thank you for that. That's great. Now this app is wicked customizable and there is a lot of customization in here, too much to add into this video because it will make it very, very long. However, if you'd like to see how I set up my data screens for all of the sessions that I do, then comment the word workout down below and I'll be sure to get onto that one for you. But it's very simple. We can kind of use it for running, walking, riding. We can set our average pace, our current pace, our distance, our laps. We can hit the lap button for all that kind of stuff. We can set up alerts for heart rate zones. So remember we were talking about zone 2 and zone 3. How do we know if we're in there? Well, the watch will buzz and tell us if we're not, which is a great thing to have. Obviously we've got that action button that we need to set up to work how we want it to work, and how I want it to work might not be the same as you, but you can customize it, which is mega. And then we've got obviously intervals and bits and pieces. All of the customization we do from our phone, or I would encourage you to do it from your phone because it's a lot easier than trying to just do it on the watch. So customization we do from the phone. Comment workout down below and I'll get that video made for you. So how do I start a session with my watch, or an exercise session with my watch? Well, really simple. I'll just press my action button and that opens up the app for me. From there, I will select from the list that I've already kind of tailored and customized to the sessions that I use the most. I'll select, I don't know, for example, run, and that will then fire that up and it'll bring me up a big start screen. And when I'm ready to start, I can hit the start button and it will either, if you want to, give you a countdown, 3, 2, 1, go, or you hit that start button and it's begin straight away. During the session, a quick glance at the watch, based on how the screens are set up, will tell you the information you want or need to know for that session, which is really good. And if you want more data than that, you can just swipe across it. But here's the thing though, if the watch beeps at me, it's either telling me that my pace is too high or too slow, more than anything, or it just wants the attention. I haven't worked out which yet. So we've got two great apps here and we can customize them in really good, convenient ways as we've seen, but we need to be able to put this all together so it fits our weekly routine. Now, this is how I do it. In the morning, make a cup of coffee, sitting down, I'll open up Athlytic, and that is where I will check my recovery score, my sleep, and also the target exertion zone for the day. That's going to set me up for a target intensity level for that day's training. We need to choose that session based on our recovery score. Remember, we spoke about this a minute ago. So if we've high recovery score, 70% or more, great, we can absolutely go for it. Smash a heavy strength session, some high intensity interval training, or running or riding, something like that. If we're a medium score, we can just take things a little bit more chilled out. 45 minutes zone 2, zone 3 training, some lighter strength work maybe. And if we're on a low recovery score, treat the day as an active recovery day. We're still going to breathe and move. We're not just going to sit around on the sofa watching the Real Housewives of Essex, for example. We're actually going to get up and still move around for the day. During our workouts, we use the watch. We've got it set up how we want it. We're going to glance at it every now and then just to make sure we're on track. And then when this thing buzzes at us to tell us or give us the notifications that we've set, we can use that as kind of like a reset moment. Just check pace, relax those shoulders, and then we can carry on with it. After the workout, let the watch and everything sync together. Then we check Athlytic to see if we have hit our target exertion zone for the day and we're in the right place. Now, if we go way over it, no panic, no stress. We can just use that as a means to plan for the next day, where maybe we'll take things a little bit easier, or if we miss our target exertion zone, again, don't worry about it. Just use it as a means to plan forwards so the next day we can push a little bit harder, that type of thing. One thing I will say here is if you are just doing a strength only workout, so not strength and conditioning, nothing like that, not a WOD or anything, just pure strength training, then use Apple's native strength training app for this to track that workout and log those sets manually. Don't chase the cardio numbers when you're doing these sorts of workouts. Just focus on quality movement. Now, if you're interested to know how I set up the Apple fitness workout tracking app for that sort of thing, again, comment below. This time comment strength workout and I'll show you how I do that to maximize those strength gains. Not that there's many strength gains going on these days. So we should probably talk about some little pitfalls here and some quick fixes that we can do to get over those. Let's just say your sleep is not showing in Athlytic. You just need to ensure that sleep tracking is enabled in your health app and that you are actually wearing your watch overnight, obviously. What about if your screens are giving you too much information? Well, start with 3 data fields only. And then if you feel something is missing that you want on top of that, you can just add them in. Start simply, don't overcomplicate things. What about if your heart rate spikes way too early? Well, you've done the classic thing of going out hard way too early. We're all guilty of that one. Know anybody who likes the red line? Ease into your workouts for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Let the heart rate settle in, let everything kind of gel together, and then start pushing from there. It's all too easy to go 3, 2, 1, go. We feel nice and fresh, we nail it, and then we get 30, 45 seconds in, and here comes that wall, slam, bang, we're done. So ease into that one. So there we go, that's my simple system. Athlytic tells me how hard to train and work outdoors. Work outdoors, there's always a difficult one to say, so don't know why they called it that. WorkOutDoors gives me the clean workout screen, the intervals and the alerts that I need. Now, if this has helped, drop a like, share this with someone who you think might benefit from it, share it with a friend who wants to get fitter without overthinking things, and don't forget my 4-step blueprint in how to improve health and fitness is linked below. It's got some actionable points in there that you can start to work on right now that are going to start to move the needle on your journey for losing weight, toning up, improving health, fitness, get faster, fitter, stronger, all that kind of good stuff. Check that link below. It helps support me and this channel so I can continue doing this. Appreciate it if you can. Let me know in the comments below anything else you want to know about using your Apple tech to improve health and fitness. Give me some tips about what you're currently doing, and if there's any other apps out there that you think we should be aware of, drop those in the comments below as well so that we can all take a look at what's going on. All right, as ever, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.